Okay, so we study Title 3. This is Crimes Against Public Order. So we start with rebellion under Article 134. Rebellion or insurrection. Chapter 1. Rebellion, coup d'etat, sedition, and disloyalty. So I hope you have your reference, and I have already sent to our GC the reference outline of Criminal Law 2, and you have also to download the CODAL provision of the revised Penal Code. So let us read Article 134, Rebellion or Insurrection, how committed. The crime of rebellion or insurrection is committed by rising publicly and taking arms against the government for the purpose of removing from allegiance to the said government or its laws, the territory of the Republic of the Philippines or any part thereof or any body of land, naval or other armed forces, depriving the chief executive or the legislature wholly or partially any of their powers or prerogatives. So the crime of rebellion have the following elements: that there is a public uprising, and that there is a taking of arms against the government. So when you see public uprising, it's not only one person. It involves multitude of people. Taking of arms. What do you mean by taking of arms? Pag-aarmas sa sarili. Okay? And that the purpose of the uprising is either to remove from allegiance to the said government or its laws, the territory of the Philippines or any part thereof, or any body of land, naval or armed forces, and to deprive chief executive or Congress wholly or partially any of the powers and prerogatives. So you have to remember the purpose of public uprising and taking arms, because we have also the crime of sedition. It is also a public uprising, and there is also a taking of arms, but the difference is on the purpose. So for rebellion, the purpose is to remove from allegiance to the said government or its laws from the territory or any part thereof or any body, naval and armed forces, or to deprive the chief executive, Congress, wholly or partially of their powers or prerogatives. So how do you distinguish rebellion from insurrection? How do you distinguish rebellion from insurrection? Rebellion is more frequently used where the object of the movement is to completely overthrow and supersede the existing government. That is the rebellion. The purpose is to overthrow the existing government. Palitan ang gobyerno from democracy, gawin nating communist. Yan, that is one of the distinction. In insurrection is more employed in a reference to a movement which seeks merely to effect some minor importance. So not really to overthrow the government, but some minor importance. or to prevent the exercise of governmental authority with respect to a matters or subject. Rebellion, not only a mere challenge to the constituted authorities, but also on a bigger or a lesser scale, it's a civil war. So what do you mean by civil war? Guerra within the nation, Filipino against Filipino. Yun yung civil war. Okay? Nagkaroon ng civil war yung US. Dati it's Americans versus Americans. Yun yung civil war. So in a bigger or on a lesser scale, that can also be called as rebellion. In rebellion or insurrection, the revised penal code expressly declare that there must be a public uprising and taking up arms. So, in order to consider a crime, rebellion or insurrection, there must be a public uprising and taking up arms. Just like in one case, in People versus Almasan, 400 members of Sakdals, after fighting the constabulary soldiers, or the police, constabulary ang tawag natin, took possession of the municipal building and proclaimed the independence of the Republic of the Philippines. So there is a public uprising, taking up arms against the government, and defied the constabulary soldier by proclaiming Philippine independence. They removed the locality under the control from the allegiance of the government and its laws. In US versus Constantino, 400 men entered into the town, attacked policemen, kidnapped the municipal mayor or the municipal president and others without indicating their motive or purpose. Was it considered as rebellion? The Supreme Court said no, it is only kidnapping because there is no evidence as to the motive or purpose. What is the motive or purpose for the rebellion? To overthrow the government. So in this case, US versus Constantino, it is not clear whether the purpose of this men is to overthrow the government. But they kidnapped municipal mayor, they attacked the policeman. So the charge, the crime is kidnapping. How do you distinguish rebellion from treason? Treason is levying war against the government. And it would also constitute an adherence to the enemy by giving aid or comfort. And it is during the time of war. While levying of war against the government during the time of peace is called rebellion. Rebellion always involved taking up arms against the government, while the treason may be committed only by adhering to the enemy by giving aid or comfort. Because in time of peace, you adhere to the enemy by giving them aid or comfort, you will not be guilty of the crime rebellion. Like for example in Carino versus People, the accused act performed were to send and to furnish cigarettes, food supplies to the hook leader, changing of dollar into pesos for the top level communists, and helping the hooks in opening the account with the bank, is the accused liable for rebellion. Ang kanya lang ginawa, tumutulong siya para bigyan ng sigarilyo, ng pagkain, yung mga hook balahap, tinutulungan niya para ma-change yung dollar into peso, and also help the hook balahap in the opening of bank accounts. According to the Supreme Court, unlike the crime of treason, the act of giving aid or moral aid, comfort, is not a criminal liability in the case of rebellion or insurrection. Because in rebellion, the RPC declared that there must be a public uprising and taking up arms. So that person did not rise publicly and did not take arms, although he has supported the hook balahap. So the accused is not guilty of rebellion. Okay? Pero kung it was in the time of war, tapos he give aid and comfort to the enemy, the accused will be guilty of treason. So, how do you distinguish rebellion from subversion? So, subversion, like treason, is a crime against national security, while rebellion is a crime against public order. How do you read Article 134-A? Coup d'etat. How committed? The crime of coup d'etat is a swift attack accompanied by a violence, intimidation, threat, strategy, stealth, directed against duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines or any military camp or installation, communication network, public utilities, or other facilities needed for the exercise and continued position of power, singly or simultaneously carried out anywhere in the Philippines by any person or persons belonging to the military or police, or holding any public office or employment with or without civilian support or participation. Yan. So the elements are, the offender is a person or persons belonging to the military or police or holding any public office or employment. Sa rebellion, any person. Pero sa coup d'etat, holding military or police. Person belonging to military or police or holding any public office or employment. Then, number 2 element, committed by the means of swift attack, accompanied by violence, intimidation, threat, or strategy. Number 3, the attack is directed against duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines, or any military camp or installation, communication network, public utilities, or other facilities needed for the exercise and continued position of power. That the purpose of the attack is to seize and diminish the state power. Okay. So the coup d'etat is with or without civilian participation. So, under Article 135, the penalty for rebellion, coup d'etat, and insurrection. So, any person who promote, maintain, or head a rebellion or insurrection, so if you are the leader, what will be the penalty? Reclusion perpetua. How about a person merely participating, executing the command of others in rebellion or insurrection? They are punishable by reclusion temporal. Any person who leads or in a manner direct the command of others to undertake kudita shall suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua. So leader ng sa kudita, ang penalty is reclusion perpetua. The one who participates is punishable by reclusion temporal. Any person not in a government service who participate or any manner support, finance, abet, aids, or undertake the kudita shall suffer the penalty of prison mayor. So if you support, you finance, you participate, you aid the kudita, there's a penalty, prison mayor. When the rebellion, insurrection, or kudita under the command of a known leader, any person who in fact directed others, spoke for them, signed receipts and other documents issued in their name, or performed similar act on behalf of the rebel shall be deemed as a leader of such rebellion, insurrection, or kudita. What is Article 136? Conspiracy and proposal to commit kudita, rebellion, or insurrection. So this also like the crime of conspiracy, proposal to commit treason. Generally, the crime of conspiracy and proposal to commit a crime is not punishable. Diri siya punishable. But for the treason and for rebellion, insurrection, it is punishable under revised penal code. The conspiracy and proposal to commit kudita shall be punished by prison mayor in its minimum period and a fine which shall not exceed 1 million pesos. That is amended by Republic Act 10951. Nag-increase yung kanyang mga penalty. So kung if you have the CODAL or the revised penal code na hindi pa updated yung mga fine as to the amount, you have to update that. Okay? Binago na siya ng Republic Act 10951. The conspiracy and proposal to commit rebellion or insurrection shall be punished respectively by prison correctional in its maximum period, and a fine shall not exceed 1 million pesos by prison correctional and its minimum period, and a fine not exceeding 400,000 pesos. Okay. So, conspiracy and proposal to commit kudita, rebellion, and insurrection. But if the accused, the person has already committed the rebellion, kudita, and insurrection, the crime will not be conspiracy and proposal, but the rebellion or kudita itself. Article 137, disloyalty of public officer or employee. The penalty of prison correctional in its minimum period shall be imposed upon any public officer or employee who have failed to resist a rebellion by all means in their power and shall continue to discharge their duties of their office under a control of the rebel, or shall accept appointment to office under them. Yan. So what are the acts punished by Article 137? Failing to resist a rebellion by all means, or by continuing to discharge duties of their office under the control of the rebel, or by accepting appointment under them. Those are the acts punished in Article 137. Okay, 138 is inciting to rebellion or insurrection. The penalty of prison mayor in its minimum period shall be imposed upon any person who, without taking arms or in open hostility against the government, shall incite others to the execution of any acts specified in Article 134 of this code by means of speeches, proclamation, writing, emblems, banners, and other representation tending to the same end. So what are the elements? That the offender does not take arms or in an open hostility against the government. So hindi niya inarmasan yung kanyang sarili. But number two, he incites others to the execution of any of the acts of rebellion. Siya yung nag-udyok sa iba in order to commit rebellion. And number three, that inciting is done by means of speeches, proclamation, writing, emblems, banners, and other representations tending to do the same end. So, how do you distinguish inciting to rebellion and proposal to commit rebellion? In both crimes, the offender induce another to commit rebellion. Pareho, di-induce. Inuudyokan nila ang ibang tao na mag-commit ng rebellion. But in proposal to commit rebellion, the person who proposed has already decided to commit the rebellion. But in inciting to rebellion, it is not necessary that the offender has decided to commit a rebellion. In proposal to commit rebellion, the person who proposed the execution of the crime uses secret means. But in the inciting to rebellion is done publicly. Okay? So yun yung inciting to commit rebellion or insurrection. So ang example dyan, mayroong mga speeches o kaya publication of newspaper or banner that is inducing others to commit rebellion. Pero siya, not necessary na kasali siya sa taking up arms. Rebellion should not be committed because if he commit rebellion, hindi na inciting or proposal to commit rebellion ang magiging charge, kundi rebellion itself. Okay? So doon dito kung hindi malinaw kung siya ay kasali o hindi, pero siya ay nagsasalita, siya yung mga authors of publication, gumagawa ng banner which has tending to do an effect like that, the act of rebellion. So that is inciting to rebellion. Okay, we move on to Article 139, sedition. So later on we will study what is the difference between sedition and rebellion. So the crime of sedition is committed by any person who rise publicly and tumultuously in order to attain by force, intimidation, or by other means outside of legal methods any of the following: to prevent the promulgation or the execution of any law or holding of any popular election, to prevent national government or any provincial or municipal government or any public officer thereof from freely exercising its or his function, or to prevent the execution of any administrative order, to inflict the act of hate or revenge upon a person or property of any public officer or employee, to commit any political or social end, any act of hate or revenge against private person or any social class, and to despoil for any political, social, or any person, municipality, or province or national government all of its property or any part thereof. So here in sedition, the offender rise publicly, just like in the rebellion, rise publicly. But in rebellion, the offender take arms. Here, the rising publicly and tumultuously. Okay, so there is difference on the objectives. In general sense, the sedition is raising a commotion or disturbance. Gusto lang niyang guluhin ang Estado, ang government. The ultimate object of sedition is violation of public peace, at least in such course measure as evidently endangers it. Okay? So what is the distinction therefore between sedition and rebellion? What distinguishes sedition from rebellion? So the accused contended that the crime committed by him was only sedition because the uprising took place only in the municipality, which is a small place. According to the Supreme Court, what distinguishes sedition from rebellion is not the extent of the territory, but rather the object of the uprising. If the purpose is to overthrow the government or to obtain independence of a certain territory from the government and withdrawing the authority from central government, then that is rebellion. But if the purpose is for commotion, public uprising in a tumultuous manner, that is only sedition. Example of sedition against private persons or social class. In U.S. versus Lapus et al. One night on June 3, 1902, a band composed of 400 men, among whom are the accused, armed with the guns, revolver, bolos, club, raided the town, firing shots, yelling, and frightening inhabitants thereof. Some of them said, band went to the house of the municipal president, municipal mayor, while others raided several houses, taking captive 60 or 70 inhabitants thereof, and that they roamed around about the street of the town, threatening and intimidating people. The reason for the uprising was that rich people was loaning money at usurious terms to their farm labor, and while the latter were unable to pay the loan, they compelled their children to work for them as servants. And that the wealthy landowner continue oppressing the poor, they have to disturb the town because the law must be equally applied to the rich and the poor. And so these 400 men went to the town, they attacked rich people, captured 60 or 70 inhabitants. Ano yung purpose nila? The purpose is to inflict hate or revenge against rich person because they are loaning money. Nagpapautang sila at usurious interest. What do you mean by usurious? Masyadong mataas na interest. Pag hindi daw nakababayad, yung kanilang mga anak ginagawang alipin. So nagalit itong 400 men. They disturb the city to caught attention because according to them, the law must be equally applied to the rich and to the poor. What is the crime committed? According to the stated facts that constitute the crime of sedition. So public uprising and the object of sedition must also concur. Okay? So not all public uprising is sedition. So no public uprising, no sedition. pag walang public uprising, walang sedition. For example, in US versus Apurado et al. Apurado. While the municipal council was in session, some 500 residents of the town assembled near the municipal building. So habang nagsisession, 500 inhabitants, they assembled in the municipal building. Around, at a large number of them crowded the council chamber and demanded the dismissal of the municipal treasurer, secretary, and chief of police, and the substitution of their places in new official, because this official took sides in the religious difference between the residents of the municipality. The person who took part were wholly unarmed except that the few carried canes. The crowd were fairly and orderly behaved. The council acceded to their wishes and drew up a formal document which was signed by the councilor and by several leaders of the crowd. Yan. So, habang nagsisisyon, nag-ipon-ipon yung mga inhabitants, 500 of them, then demanded to replace the municipal treasurer, secretary, and the chief of police. But they are orderly. They have no arms. These 500 men were prosecuted for sedition, for allegedly preventing the municipal government from freely exercising their function. But it was held that there was no sedition because there was no public uprising, and the uprising is not, no public uprising, and it's not tumultuous. Another case, no sedition, no object of sedition is no sedition. For example, in People versus Mendoza et al., 5 persons armed with carbine, Tommy gun, attack a truck, wherein 8 policemen, chief of police, and other passengers were riding. 2 policemen, the truck operator, and children were killed, and 2 policemen were wounded. The accused were charged for the crime of sedition with multiple murder and double prostrated murder. It was held that there was no sedition because the purpose of the attack was unknown. Hindi malaman what is the purpose of the attack, while they attack the chief of police or why they attack the policemen. So, the purpose is not known. What will be the charge? It's murder and prostrated murder. So yan na yung